Hey guys, this is Dee Dee here, keeping it raw and real in the kitchen. Very excited to be here with you guys today. I am excited about this recipe because this is something I've been working on for months. I've been tweaking it, adding, omitting, and then adding back just to make sure that I got it right. And I really have. I think anyways. It is really absolutely amazing. It is one of our favorite things in the entire world to eat: carbohydrates, bread. I'm making a loaf of bread today that is made with this flour that I found on the internet a few months ago, and I was so intrigued by the sound of it, the way that someone was talking about it, but I could not find any recipes. So I just started to use one of my old recipes to put it together, and wow, I make this loaf once or twice a week. I'll make a pizza once every couple of weeks with it, and you can eat the whole thing easily. It tastes like the real deal, like white bread, that doughiness, that delicious gluten full of dough, but this is gluten-free and non-GMO and high in fiber. I'm talking like almost all fiber, which is wonderful. And it is called Lupin flour. Now this Lupin flour, before you worry about it being a legume flour, because it is made out of legumes, it has negligible amounts of trypsin inhibitors known to interfere with digestion, which is often found in legumes, okay? It also is very low in lectins and saponins, low in phytic acid, does not require heat or chemical treatments. It's great for your cholesterol, bad cholesterol, awesome for blood pressure, great for bowel health. I mean, this, for a fourth of a cup of this, it is 12 grams of carbs, 11 grams of fiber, and we're gonna use 2 cups of it today for the entire loaf. That makes it 8 net grams of carbs total for the loaf. It's wonderful for low carb diets, high fiber, healthy diets, keto friendly, you name it. Just make sure that you get this flour if you're not sure which one to get, because there are some Lupin flours that are mixed with other ingredients that you do not want. There's also some really bitter Lupin flours. This one is the sweet kernel, sweet flour. It's delicious. Now I'm going to show you the other ingredients, show you the recipe. Let's get to work. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna want to put the oven on 350 degrees. You want to preheat it. That's always the first thing. Okay, so I have done that. All right, besides the Lupin flour, you're gonna want your measuring cup. We're gonna need that to measure the cups of flour, of course. We're gonna need some yeast, okay? We're going to need, yes, we're going to need honey or molasses. We're going to use a tablespoon of this on the yeast, okay? Before you scream sugar, those that are low carb, keto, low sugar, no sugar, let's not forget that the yeast feeds on the sugar to emit carbon dioxide, okay? So it doesn't affect the carb count at all. And yes, it is scientifically proven. So let's get that out of the way, because I am all about low carb and low sugar. So that's what happens, all right? Now we got some apple cider vinegar that we will need. We will need olive oil, some salt. I use Himalayan pink salt, baking powder, whey protein isolate. Make sure that you get a good one. Right, this is the one that I get by Biochem, and I get this on Amazon. It works really well, very high in protein, and this just is going to help the loaf rise even better. All right, we're gonna need the xanthum gum. This gives it that chewiness that gluten normally gives bread and other gluten products. We're going to need a mixer. You want to get 4 regular size eggs. You know, there's little ones and then there's large ones. Just get, you know, medium to large. 4 of them, and we're gonna use them in the mixer in a little while. But make sure that you warm them up first. So what I usually do is take 4 eggs out the night before. I know I'm gonna make the bread recipe, so they're nice and warm room temperature. And that's a huge, huge pointer here. You have to make sure that your AC is not on. You have to make sure your house is warm. We want to cuddle our dough, okay? That's how I'm gonna put it, because you have to really give it some TLC. It's gotta be a warm room. As a matter of fact, after I knead the dough, I take it out, I put it on the stove top to rise, okay, for about an hour, at least an hour. I usually go a little higher, hour and a half, because I like it to be nice and soft and airy and flaky, not dense. If you don't care, if you want dense bread, then you don't have to let it rise for that long. But I like it risen, so then it's a nice big loaf. I can slice, make regular toast slices, sandwiches, you know, and it tastes so much better like that. All right, so the eggs are warm, and let's get started, okay? So we're going to get started by I just put it right in here in the mixer bowl, 1 tablespoon of the yeast, and you're gonna wanna drizzle the tablespoon of honey over that, and you're gonna wanna boil a half a cup of water. Let it cool down to about 105 degrees. That's warm to the touch, not too hot, not too cold. Warm to the touch, about 105 degrees. And that's what you're gonna pour over the honey and the yeast. And you're gonna time it for 7 minutes. Make sure you put a cloth on the very top. Okay, so just like this, cloth over it. And then I time it 7 minutes. And once the 7 minutes are up, you're gonna check it, open it up, and it should bubble up. So it should have like a film of like bubbles, like nice and foamy. Okay, so I will show you when it's done. And if it's not like that, just letting you know ahead of time, after the 7 minutes, if it's flat, then you're gonna have to start over again, because this is the foundation to the whole thing, so it's got to be perfect. Okay, beautiful. It came out. Like, check this out. Okay, this is what you want it to look like. Can you see that? So that is nice and foamy. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put this onto clipped onto your mixer, okay? And we are going to just put this on like medium, okay? And this is the attachment that you want to put in here. Needing the dough attachment. All right, we're gonna raise it up, and now we're gonna get it going to medium and just have it going like that. Now, the 4 eggs, so we're gonna take 3 eggs, and we're gonna put 2 egg whites and 1 whole egg in here, okay? And then we're going to dump that in here. And the 4th egg is gonna be for a egg white wash on the very top before we put it in the oven, okay? For the dough. So we're gonna save this for later. And then the rest of the egg yolks you can just eat as a little snack. All right, so we got this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add 2 tablespoons to this mixture of olive oil and 1 tablespoon of the apple cider vinegar. Okay, you're gonna want to keep that rolling. Okay, and so meanwhile, okay, what you're gonna do is the 2 cups of the Lupin flour, which we have in here, you're gonna add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. You're gonna add 2 tablespoons of xanthum gum. You're gonna have add a half of a teaspoon of your salt and 2 scoops of the whey protein, all in here. You're gonna mix it up. You guys, if you want to make, I'm making a plain bread. I mean, if you want to add stuff to it, you could always add raisins if you're not concerned about your sugars. You can add everything but the bagel seasoning. You can make an onion bread. I'd rather do it at the, you know, like on the very top, not throughout the whole thing, but you can if you want to. So you're gonna put half of this mixture in here. What I do is shut it off because then it splatters all over my kitchen. So I'm gonna put half of it in there and slowly build myself up to it completely dissolving in the mixture with the wet ingredients. Then you're gonna wanna put a half of a cup of water in your measuring cup. Add half of it to this. Okay, then we're gonna add the rest of this in here. All right, get it going again. And then 2 more tablespoons of olive oil. You guys, olive oil is so good for you, so don't cringe that it's too much fat or whatever, because it's, add the rest of the water. And there it goes. So don't cringe because olive oil is so good for you. It is the best kind of fat, okay? It is so good. That, you know, and avocados, of course. But if you actually, I experimented in adding the 3 whole eggs instead of 2 egg whites and 1 whole egg. And I did make it like that. I added only 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and that came out delicious too, but the bread was yellow. I like it to look whiter, so I just do the 1 yolk, you know, the 1 whole egg, 2 egg whites, and the 4 tablespoons of olive oil. So that's all set. And now we're going to move onto the other counter because we're gonna roll the dough. So what you are going to need is a little more flour. We're gonna spread it out on the counter so we can roll the dough on the flour. You'll see. So see, I'm just sprinkling a little bit of flour, just a little bit, okay? I don't have an exact measurement, but you just kind of want to sprinkle it around just like this much, okay? Just on your counter so you can roll the dough back and forth while you're shaping it, okay? Because otherwise the dough just gets really sticky. This is easier to work, makes it easier to work. So what you want to do is turn on the faucet. You want it to be warm because when you're working with the dough, you want your hands to be warm. That way it doesn't stick to your hands, doesn't stick to your nails. It's a pain in the butt if you don't do it that way. So constantly, while you're working with this, trying to get it out of here, out of the bowl, you're gonna want your hands warm with water, okay? Warm water. Make sure it's nice and warm. See how easy it is to take out? It's beautiful. And it smells amazing. Wait until you smell this. I love it every time, especially when it's in the oven, baking. Okay, so just gonna roll it around, have fun with it. Okay, just like that, in a ball, because you want it to be a perfect ball. Okay, and you want to get the flour in there as well, okay? It's gonna be so amazing, you guys. I get excited every time I make it all over again because I couldn't believe the first time I had it how good it was, and I hadn't even perfected it yet, but just the flour itself has the sweet Lupin, has such beautiful flavor. Okay, so see how I molded it into, so I did a ball, but I also molded it as, you know, a loaf of bread would look, and this is what you want it to look like. And now what you're gonna do very easily, you're gonna get a loaf pan, put parchment paper, and put this in there, just like that, resting it. See how I'm cuddling it? Cuddling with it? So now you're gonna put a cloth, or what I like to do is put saran wrap. That way I can see it grow. I can see it while I'm sitting here. Within an hour and a half, I can watch it grow. Make sure, again, you don't switch temperatures. Don't switch it around from inside, outside. Keep it in one place, warm place on top of the stove. The stove is 350, and let it rest there. Let it rise. You are going to absolutely love this process. Okay, so now I've had this rising for an hour. I told you I usually do it between an hour, hour and a half. But look at how much that rose, how beautiful that looks from that little tiny roll. And if you leave it longer, it gets even fluffier. So I put my egg white wash in here. Got my little brush. I'm gonna brush it right on the top of it, okay? Just like that. And it comes out nice and golden. Okay, so here's the little trick I'm gonna tell you that I do so your bread cooks thoroughly, but it doesn't burn on the top, unless you like it like that. Okay, so first I put it in the oven at 350. It's already been preheating, as you know, for 25 minutes uncovered, okay? And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cover it with foil for the last 8 minutes, okay? So it's not quite 35 minutes, more like 30, 33, okay? So that's what I'm gonna do. So I put the foil so then it doesn't brown any more than it has after 25 minutes. That's how I like it. If you want it more brown, I've made it the whole entire way 35 minutes. I have made it uncovered, and I really have liked it too. It's because I toast it anyways after, and it just depends. If you want it even lighter though, you can even go down, go down to 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, and then cover it for the last 20, okay? So it's gonna be a total of about 33 to 35 minutes. You can leave it all the way to 35, it's fine. It's just, for me, it's in my oven, it's just done. So you're gonna wanna put, obviously, a knife or a fork right in the center of it to make sure that it's perfectly cooked through. So let's put it in. Okay, you guys, I just took the bread out of the oven after 25. Look at that! Look at how much it rose in the oven. It's so beautiful. So see what I mean? It's nice and toasty. That's how I like it. So now I'm gonna cover it up really quick and pop it back in, like I said, for another 8 minutes with, let me show you how I do it. Just a piece of foil, that's all. This is reused, so crinkly. That's it, and so we get just like that. So it will still cook. Do it fast though, because you don't want it to cool down much, okay? Okay, so I took the delicious looking bread out of the oven. I get so excited every single time that I make this because the smell just completely fills the kitchen. And it is a little bit hot. So what I'm gonna do is, what you wanna do is you wanna take it out of the pan, just pull it up like this, and set it on a cutting board, and then just let it sit, because believe it or not, even after you take it out of the oven, it's still kind of cooking in the middle, because it's so hot. So you just want to let it settle before you cut into it, because it's so hot and so tender right now, okay? So we're gonna wait about, I go anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes. So I like it nice and hot because I'll have a piece right when it comes out of the oven with a little butter or cream cheese, you guys. Oh my God. That's the perfect time to have this. So I'm just gonna give it a few minutes, let it sit. I'll give it about 7, 8 minutes, okay? and then we'll cut into it so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so here it is, my beautiful loaf. So now you can either use a serrated knife, all right, but my husband, such a clever one, decided to go for the turkey cutter. And it cuts this bread so thin without it falling apart, because it's so nice and fluffy and doughy. Check it out. Let's see. Okay, you want to put it on a nice cutting board so you can do that and see the bread inside. Beautiful fluffiness. See the steam coming out. It's so gorgeous. You can make a nice sandwich. It's not gonna fall apart. I know I've said that, but I'm so excited about it because I used to make almond bread and sometimes it would just crumble, fall apart. Here, you know, you got the nice texture. This flour is unbelievable. And it will keep you full for so long. I mean, we'll have breakfast and have toast, and then we won't be hungry until like late night. So we have a late dinner because it's so filling and so just delicious. You guys gotta try it, even if you know, you're skeptical about the legumes and all that. Don't be. It is so wonderful, so good for you. Read up about it. I mean, there's so much health information about this product, and I still read up about it. Go to, again, lupinausa.com, and you can read all the health benefits. They have it all on their website, and you know, it's really worth a try. And I am going to make a pizza video with this soon, the next time that I make it, so you guys can see the pizza. It is, and hopefully you can taste it. It's amazing. So anyway, thank you so much for watching again, and I hope that you will enjoy this as much as we do. And please tune into my channel and subscribe if you haven't already so you can get my notifications. Thank you so much, you guys. Have a wonderful fall, day, life, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you for watching.